Wow, let's just take a minute to think about how crazy today has been. This has been probably one of the biggest days in Manchester United transfer history. Leny Yoro is set to sign as a new Manchester United player. Yoro is undergoing his medical. He signed the deal. He signed an agreement. He just needs to complete his medical, and there could be an official announcement by the club as early as tomorrow. So Yoro is ready for the pre-season tour. And I think we just have to take a minute to just think, wow, what is going on at Manchester United? I do not recognise my club in this transfer market. We've signed Joshua Zirkzee, and he had an agreement with AC Milan, and we signed him, and that was done. We've now gone and got a player that was destined to go to Real Madrid so much that PSG and Liverpool walked away, but despite him being Liverpool's number one transfer target, we've now got Yoro from Real Madrid. Like, we've done it. Like, it's 99.99%. There's still like 0.01%. He fails his medical, something awful happens, but we've done it. We've gone and got Leny Yoro. We're about to sell Wan-Bissaka. We're getting bids on McTominay. We're going to still get another centre-back. We're going to get another midfielder next. Casemiro set to go. We're expressing an interest in Zubimendi again. Greenwood's done. Sancho's still expected to be sold. My club is acting like a proper football club in the transfer market. And of course, it's still 99.99% done. It's not 100% done. But we've essentially got Leny Yoro. We've already got Zirkzee. And we're going to move for maybe Ugarte, maybe Zubimendi next, potentially one of Ligt or Branthwaite. There's so much news to get through that it's so hard to get my head around. It's so hard to get my head around. So let me just show you it. Like Yoro news, Wan-Bissaka news, other transfer news, midfield news, other transfer news, Greenwood stuff. Bear in mind, I've only included like half the news stories that's come out today because I just thought, if I include every news story, I could be live for 2 hours, and I want to get into what I think is more relevant. So let's talk about it. So David Ornstein tweeted this about 10 minutes ago. Leny Yoro medical taking place as we speak. Once done today, tomorrow, Manchester United will be signed. 5-year deal with option to extend by 12 months. 18-year-old decided last night to accept to move to Manchester United from Lille for a maximum of 70 million euros. So 70 euros in pounds is 58. It could go up to a total of 58 million pounds, but it would only go up to 58 million pounds, the signing, if he's unbelievably good. Now, the base fee is £42 million, and then there's believed to be about 14 million add-ons, which will only be paid if he's actually good as well. So that's what's been said on the Yoro deal. He's going to do his medical today, tomorrow. He's already agreed to join United. It is basically done. So what did Fabrizio Romano then add on the Leny Yoro to Manchester United news? Because I tell you what, it's crazy. I mean, thank you, United faithfuls, for rounding this up for me. Liverpool wanted him, but their feeling was he was going to be impossible to get. Basically, they thought it was impossible. He was going to Real Madrid. Apparently, he was Liverpool's number one priority transfer target. That just makes the signing even better. Just want to say a shout out to Phil, the Liverpool fan, if you're watching, Phil. I see your comments. Alice, shut up. I'm not going to try and do your accent. Alice, shut up. You're not going to get Leny Yoro. Okay. Liverpool's number one target in a Man United shirt. If you're watching, Phil, let me know how that feels. But as said, Liverpool wanted him, but their feeling was it was going to be impossible. The medical has been booked today. He's doing his medical as we speak. Ornstein said he's agreed to join United and he's chosen Man United over Real Madrid. Man United want Leny Yoro to be one of the superstars for their project. The contract is 5 years plus 1 year and it's been agreed with the player. The here we go can probably come today, may come tomorrow. But the fee for Leny Yoro is 50 million euros guaranteed and 5 million on easy add-ons, 7 million on difficult add-ons. So it is a 62 million euro fee, which means it's 42 million pound base, and then it could rise to about 46 million pounds. And then if he's a really good signing, it could rise to just over 50 million pounds. But that's only after 3 years if he's playing elite for us, which is decent. 42 million pounds when Branthwaite was priced out at 70 million, and Everton are complaining about us buying Yoro. Interesting. We'll talk about that story in a second. That was what was said, and that Madrid's proposal was 25 million euros with add-ons included. So that's what Romano gave us on the situation. I think it will be announced tomorrow, not tonight, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to keep an eye on it as well. So what else was said on Leny Yoro to Manchester United? It was then said by Romano that Manchester United are super active in the market, and this isn't just in Leny Yoro, this is in outs and ins. Zirkzee's done, Yoro's essentially done. We're going to sign a midfielder. Wan-Bissaka, McTominay could be about to go. Casemiro could be about to go. Greenwood is gone. Sancho is still up for sale. Lindelof's expected to go. Eriksen's expected to go. Mejbri and Policia are expected to go. Manchester United are working on a left-back deal. Manchester United are working on a second centre-back deal. They're having talks with Xavi Simons. We are very active in the transfer market, and we're going to round that up in a second. So what else has been said on Yoro? Yoro was Liverpool's prime target, but they were convinced he only wanted to move to Spain. Again, another source confirming Yoro was Liverpool's prime target. I mean, David Ornstein confirmed that. Romano's confirmed that. So Liverpool fans, lol. Manchester United wants Leny Yoro to be one of the superstars for the future of the club. Real Madrid consider Leny Yoro as the Kylian Mbappe of defenders. His potential is fantastic. So it's also been said that Yoro was considered the Kylian Mbappe of defenders, and Real Madrid saw him as one of the superstars for the club. Romano said the winning strategy for United was to present a big proposal to Lille, and then their president, Oliver Letang, in the last 7 days spent lots of time talking directly to Yoro. He told Yoro several times to go to Manchester United, so that was the strategy. So what is the details on the Yoro to Manchester United deal? What is the further details? What is the further news on this? Leny Yoro transfer details, 50 million euros, which is 42 million pounds, with 12 million euros in bonuses. So it could go to about 50 million pounds in total. It's a 5-year contract with a 1-year extension, and that is the details. It said that Leny Yoro is flying to the UK to undergo his medical and finalise terms with United, said David Ornstein, and that was said by Ornstein earlier today. He's now done the first part of his Manchester United medical. That's been confirmed. Santi then said that Manchester United wants to quickly close a deal so that Leny Yoro goes to the United States with the group on pre-season tour. So will Zirkzee. Now, Ben Jacobs said this: Leny Yoro has informed Real Madrid he is travelling to Manchester United. Leny Yoro is understood to have appreciated how hands-on Manchester United have been in their pitch, including quickly agreeing a fee and allowing him a week to decide, respecting the fact that he wanted to talk to Real Madrid as well and see if they made a bid. Real Madrid have been informed that Leny Yoro has chosen Manchester United over them from one of the best sources of Real Madrid news. So as you can see here, Leny Yoro has chosen Manchester United over Real Madrid because Manchester United's eagerness to get the deal done, push the deal, show that they want him, has made him choose United over Real Madrid. Now, I always said, we wouldn't have made a bid for Leny Yoro if it was impossible. There's a reason Man United made a bid for it, and they feel that the deal was possible. I said yesterday, I think Leny Yoro will be a Man United player unless Real Madrid come in with a bigger bid, and they're not doing that. Once the news came out yesterday that he was in contract negotiation talks, I said, guys, I think this deal is done unless Real Madrid swoop in, unless we're being played. I said this could be another Frankie de Jong situation, but as soon as we heard yesterday he was talking about his contract, I just felt like this deal was going to be done. And it's crazy because I've been saying for ages, I still think he goes to Real Madrid. Even when we agreed a fee with him, I was like, well, that's massive, but I still think he goes to Real Madrid. But he's actually chosen Manchester United. It's crazy. It's crazy. It was even said that Madrid were informed today of Yoro's decision to leave for Manchester United, and they respect the player's decision. Leny Yoro did not train with Lille yesterday, and he will sign for Manchester United. The agreement was reached yesterday. And that Manchester United made it clear to Leny Yoro that he was not only their top centre-back target, but they could move more decisively. Man United made it clear, we've got De Ligt there. De Ligt's ready to come to us, but we want you. You're our first choice ahead of De Ligt. So if we don't get you, we'll just get De Ligt. So let us know. And I think maybe he felt special that we were his first choice as well. So it was also said on Leny Yoro that Real Madrid regard him so highly that they think it's nearly impossible to find an alternative for him. So if we just throw this back, Yoro is doing a medical as we speak, confirms David Ornstein. He's agreed to join at Manchester United. Romano's again said, here we go for Leny Yoro, could be today. There's a 5-year contract that's been agreed by the player. He's saying he's agreed a contract. He's officially agreed to join United. Once the medical is done, Leny Yoro is a Manchester United player, and Liverpool wanted him. Man United super active in the market. He was Liverpool's prime target. He's seen as a superstar of the club, with the Kylian Mbappe of defenders. United's proposal was to go to the president and go to Lille and get the deal done. He's now doing his medical. They're going to get it done so he can go on the pre-season tour. Man United went up to them and they really showed their interest in him, which Leny Yoro appreciated, and he's chosen Manchester United. And Real Madrid are now aware that Leny Yoro has chosen to go to Manchester United. Absolutely unbelievable news and stories coming out. Big up everybody in the chat, guys. Please do go ahead and hit that like button, and of course subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new and want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news. transfer news, updates and more. I try and do 2 live shows a day, and I'll try and interact with you guys as much as possible, but there's just so much news to get through that I just want to get through the bulk of stories first, and then I do something called a 10-minute transfer roundup, which is every evening throughout the transfer window. I round up the news in 10 minutes for you guys, just because maybe you don't have time to watch all the live streams and stuff as well. Leny Yoro's chosen the Red Devils. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Alice, do not worry about the pronunciation. He is Leny. Maybe I've said that wrong. If I said his first name wrong now, Yoro. I'm learning how to say his name, but my tongue doesn't like to say it. My tongue likes to say Euro, but it's Yoro, and I'm training my tongue to say his name properly as well. Get rid of Casemiro, Maguire, Lindelof. We'll bring in better players to the team like Ligt and Ugarte, another centre back. Well, that is what we're going to talk about in a second as well. And yeah, we're going to talk about all of that because Leny Yoro is in, but Leny Yoro won't be the only centre-back signing at Manchester United this summer if all goes to plan, because they do want to sell Lindelof and Maguire. So shall we talk about quickly the outs? Because Wan-Bissaka to West Ham is advancing. Now, I said last week there was an exclusive source that dropped that Man United are expecting Wan-Bissaka to make Man United expecting West Ham to make a bid for Wan-Bissaka. I said last week, expect Wan-Bissaka deal to move this week, and it is moving. It was said by Alex Crook, the West Ham started talks with Manchester United for around Wan-Bissaka. West Ham in advanced talks over a move for Wan-Bissaka, and that Ben Jacobs said that United want a minimum of 15 million for Wan-Bissaka. There's reports that West Ham are willing to put in an £18 million bid to secure Wan-Bissaka, and that Man United will accept that deal, and that could advance in the next week. Wan-Bissaka's got 1 year left on his deal. He's a good player. He's someone that I'd be sad to lose. But I think that £18 million for a player with 1 year left on their deal that is ultimately a backup then gives us the funds to go and get someone that could potentially play right back and left back cover, versatile fullback, which would be very good. So it's expected that Wan-Bissaka will leave. Apparently West Ham's bid is going to be in the region of 18 million, and that Wan-Bissaka is open to joining West Ham. And there's an expectation that that deal could be done. So we could be losing Wan-Bissaka to West Ham. So we'll keep an eye on Wan-Bissaka to West Ham. That's meant to be the next story to advance. But I do want to talk about a few other stories as well. Great time to be a Man United fan, rocking along. Brilliant. Liverpool's number 1 target is going to Manchester United. Can we actually talk about Everton being salty? Can we talk about this story? You're absolutely right. I want to talk about it. Obviously, it's come from Samuel Lutkers, and it's the most Samuel Lutkers story to come from Samuel Lutkers. It stinks of Samuel Lutkers' agenda, and let's print something negative. But let's actually get into this story first. Figures at Everton are surprised Manchester United have agreed a steep fee for Leny Yoro, a defender 3 years younger than Branthwaite, who's out of contract next year and has no international experience and plays in Ligue 1. I mean, Branthwaite doesn't have international experience. He just got picked for the England squad and didn't even go to the Euros, but okay. So what's being said here is figures at Everton are surprised that Man United agreed a steep fee for Leny Yoro. This stinks of Everton saltiness. This stinks of, they've got Leny Yoro for £42 million, which could rise to 50 million add-ons. That is still £25 million less than you want us to buy Branthwaite for. We've got Leny Yoro for £25 million less than you want us to buy Branthwaite for. Leny Yoro may have 1 year left on his deal and may not have Premier League experience, but he's 3 years younger than Branthwaite, so he's got an even higher ceiling than Branthwaite, and also there was more competition. This is a guy that Real Madrid, Liverpool and PSG wanted to sign. They weren't in for Branthwaite, only Man United was. There was competition for this guy. He's still £25 million cheaper than the Branthwaite asking price, and he has no less international experience with the Branthwaite when you actually think about it. So Everton getting salty, I just think that's Everton going, damn, we were hoping they were going to cave and give us 70 million for Branthwaite. I think Everton know now that Man United aren't going to be as desperate to sign Branthwaite, and that they're not going to go and spend 70 million because they've got one of their main centre-back targets in Leny Yoro. And I think Everton thought that Man United weren't going to get him and that Man United were going to come back for Branthwaite and overpay. I think it stinks of Everton salt. I think it stinks of absolute Everton salt. What? I mean, and it's such a Samuel Lutkers report. We've signed Yoro. Let's find a way to make it negative, but pretend it's not come from my own opinion and I've got it from someone else. It stinks of Samuel Lutkers trying to find a way to make it negative as well. What Everton wanted to use us like people have in the past. I think you're absolutely right. I think Everton are just salty. They wanted us to come in with a big bid for Branthwaite. I think this is Everton's way of going, you know what? They're not going to pay big for Branthwaite now. It's hilarious that Everton want us to pay 70 million for Branthwaite, but think us paying 42 million pounds for Leny Yoro. It will only pay 50 million pounds if he's amazing. Everton think us paying 42 million pounds for Leny Yoro is a joke when they wanted us 70 million for Branthwaite. Branthwaite and Leny Yoro are very similar. I think Branthwaite may be the slightest bit better right now just because he's had that extra year of experience, but I think Leny Yoro has a slightly higher ceiling than Branthwaite. They're very similar players in terms of their experience, their levels, their ceiling. So we're actually getting one that's arguably better because Real Madrid are considering him for £25 million less than we get Branthwaite for. And I think it just stinks of Oh, we're Everton, we're salty as well. Samuel Luckhurst, like every reporter that the Manchester Evening News just figures that Everton are salty. Yeah, and also Samuel Luckhurst always says dressing room sources, figures. It's the most Samuel Luckhurst report ever as well. As a Chelsea fan, I'm jealous, says Ice Cold. Big up. To be fair, I was jealous of Estevao going to Chelsea. I thought that was a really good signing. Obviously Cole Palmer, but I think when you know that Chelsea, Liverpool and Arsenal fans all wanted Leny Yoro, you know it's a good deal as well. And the whole media's having a meltdown and they're trying to fake cares about everything. I bet you there's going to be some negativity. Mainstream media is going to find a way to put a negative spin on this. They're going to say, oh, Man United wasn't his first choice. Oh, his preference was Real Madrid. He could have ran down his contract and waited for Real Madrid if he wanted it that much. He turned down PSG and Liverpool. He considered Manchester United. There was something about Manchester United that he liked. There will be the media trying to find any negative spin they can in this Leny Yoro deal, because that is what the media do. They will think, okay, how can we make this Leny Yoro to Manchester United deal negative? How can we put a negative spin on it? That is what the media do. But at the end of the day, we know that's a good signing, because at the end of the day, when do Real Madrid miss? When do Real Madrid miss? Probably Luka Jovic. Probably the last miss they've had, 5 years ago? Real Madrid very rarely miss. You look at Camavinga, you look at Tchouaméni, that's the category that Leny Yoro is in. And also, when was the last time Man United signed a French prospect from the French league? There is some. This is what really annoys me. Is I think some of the best prospects in football come from the French league. When you look at it, the French youth system, the Lille, the French league, and we ignore that. I think the last time we signed a player from the French league was Martial. That was a prospect. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm actually going to Google that. Man United transfer ins. When was the last time we signed a youth player from the French league? And to be fair, yeah, it didn't end the best for Martial at United, but I'd say overall, Martial was quite a good signing, because we had 3 really good seasons out of Martial, and I don't think that Martial was ever a bad signing in the end. But I think the last time we brought a player from the French league, I think, was Tony Martial 9 years ago as a prospect. And you look at Real Madrid always buying prospects from the French league, and it always seems to be working quite well for them. Tony Martial got the Golden Boy Award or whatever it was when we signed him. I don't know if we signed anyone since from the French league, but that's something that United lack as well. Samuel Pratt, says Alan. Love that. And Yoro performs better than Branthwaite. I think Yoro has a higher ceiling than Branthwaite as well. David Ornstein, the GOAT. David Ornstein made my morning as well. Leny Yoro is the second youngest player to play for Lille. Hazard is the third youngest player to play for Lille. He made his debut at age 13. I am correct. So the last player you could say Hannibal, but the last player we got that we actually spent a decent fee on from the French league was Anthony Martial as well. But Yoro and Maino in the same team is exciting. Yoro, Maino, Garnacho, Højlund, very, very exciting. Toby Collier coming through, very exciting. So let's go back into some of the news on Manchester United's plans in regards to the defence in terms of the centre-back situation. It was said that Manchester United is still hoping to sign another centre-back, De Ligt or Branthwaite, if they can raise cash through player sales. So Yoro is done, but we still want another centre-back. It was said that Yoro is flying to Manchester for his medical, plus finalising terms. Man United hoping to sign another centre-back by player sales. United's priority was Zirkzee and Yoro till now. So Yoro and Zirkzee were the 2 priorities we have. Now we want to go out and sign a defensive midfielder, and we also want to sign another centre-back, but that depends on outs. We're also looking at left-back and winger later on in the window. But Man United is still hoping to sign one of De Ligt or Branthwaite, but they may have to push ahead in Lindelof's exit. And Lindelof's exit to United, according to Samuel Luckhurst, is something that Man United are really focused on getting Lindelof out at all means. So it obviously was said in regards to De Ligt that De Ligt is still waiting for Manchester United. Despite agreement with Leny Yoro, De Ligt still wants United and is waiting to see if United make the move. Now, I think we will prioritise Branthwaite over De Ligt. I think we'll put in a third and final bid for Branthwaite this week. And if Everton don't respond to that, I think we'll focus on bringing in De Ligt as the third and final centre-back. He wants the United move. He's waiting for us. We're just being slow. Yoro done. Zirkzee done. Casemiro out. Midfielder in. We'll talk about that in a second. And a second centre-back in. So I do obviously want to talk about the midfield news. I do want to get into midfield transfer news. There is rumours of Man United looking at Olmo, but not very credible as well. Kobe, Rasmus, Garnacho, Yoro, some really talented names in the Manchester United youth. And to be fair, the good thing about keeping Ten Hag is he's a manager that knows how to get the best out of the youth. He knows how to get the best out of young players. Fulham did bid 17 million for McTominay, which is quite a low bid. We will cover that in a second as well. The mad thing is, I thought Yoro was 19, because I remember when I did analysis on him, he was 18, and that was like 6 months ago. and he's still 18. It's actually mad to think that he started the season being a regular centre-back at age 17. Like, 18 is young, and 18 and 19 is young, but there's something about 16, 17, which is different kind of young as well. Like, I was like, that's crazy, especially at centre-back to be starting, especially in the French league. It's a more difficult league than you think in terms of the physicality at centre-back. I think it's crazy that he was starting week in, week out at 17 for Lille in the French league. Ben Jacobs confirmed that Man United's top priority centre-back this summer was always Leny Yoro. They actually preferred him to Branthwaite and De Ligt, but obviously it was seen as the less possible one because Real Madrid were in the market. And Real Madrid believe no centre-back on the market has the same projection as Leny Yoro. They don't have a plan B. As well. I mean, what mad business from United. Mason Greenwood is on a flight to Marseille to do his medical. Leny Yoro has obviously arrived at Manchester United to do his medical as well. But let's get into the stories. Let's get into the news, because lots of information are coming out. Tom says, please get Zubimendi. I think we should have a look at him, but again, not the most reliable outlets linking us to him. Loan Anthony, simply illogical. I think Man United would explore a loan for Anthony, but it's going to be difficult. We should get Xavi Simons loan. Manchester United have discussed that, but Bayern Munich and Leipzig are still the favourites to get that deal over the line as well. So yeah, let's get into the next stories as well. But can we hit 500 likes? I know this is a crazy ask, but we've got 1,300 people watching right now. It would be amazing if we could hit 500 likes. Less than half of you need to hit that like button. I believe that you guys can do it. So please do hit that like button. It really helps out the channel as we talk about the midfield situation at United. So what was said, and I've still got quite a bit of news to get through, but in terms of midfield, Manchester United keep working on several options in midfield in the case that Casemiro's deal will accelerate without Etihad. Man United want to offload Casemiro, and now that Leny Yoro is essentially done and over the line, the next signing will be a midfielder. Zirkzee done, Yoro done, the next signing will be a midfielder, and then the next signing after that will be another centre-back once one of our centre-backs moved on, and then we'll press ahead with wingers like Desiree Doué, Xavi Simons, if still on the market. Erik ten Hag is still interested in Manuel Ugarte. The sale of Casemiro may need to happen to allow the purchase of Ugarte, who's valued at £38 million. A loan deal for the midfielder could also be an option, said Jamie Daxon. Manchester United have had conversations with PSG about a loan with an obligation to buy for Manuel Ugarte. Man United have the green light from Manuel Ugarte that he wants to join, and the green light from PSG to say that they want to sell the player. They're having just talks and conversations around it, but I think the focus is on getting Yoro in and potentially Casemiro out to make that deal happen. Now, last week, Nacional came out with a report about Man United's interest in Zubimendi, and there's been some rumours and speculation that he could be an alternative to Ugarte, although very different profiles of players, so not a very like-for-like alternative. It was said by Spanish sources, and I always say with Spanish sources, do take it with a pinch of salt, because I don't always think the Spanish sources are the most reliable, so I would suggest to take the story with a pinch of salt. But it was said by Spanish sources that Manchester United are planning an opening bid of £37.8 million for Martin Zubimendi. However, that is expected to fall short of Real Sociedad's asking price. Zubimendi has a £50.5 million release clause in his contract. So Zubimendi is a good player that can play as a 6, can play as an 8. He's better on the ball than Ugarte, but Ugarte is probably defensively better off the ball. I think he's a player that Man United haven't been linked to a lot, but Spanish sources have recently linked us to Zubimendi. Now, I'm not sure if that's just because he's played well in the Euros, but he could be sort of the United Rodri. He could be a good partner for Kobbie Mainoo as well. So keep an eye on Zubimendi, keep an eye on the midfield situation, as now Yoro is essentially over the line. The next signing United want to do is a midfielder. Sociedad are difficult to deal with. It feels like PSG and Ugarte will be much easier. I think we probably will end up signing Ugarte, especially as the player himself has given the green light to join United as well. Maguire's only quitting international football because Southgate's going. Wait, is Maguire quit England? Is Maguire quit England? Has he retired from international football? I haven't seen any news on that. Is any news on Maguire retiring from international football? We'll keep an eye on that. It was said by Ben Jacobs that PSG sources are adamant that more than one verbal offer has been made by Manchester United for Manuel Ugarte. United sources have always insisted they haven't placed any formal offer. So interestingly, Man United sources are denying that they've made an offer for Ugarte, but we've got PSG sources coming out just now confirming that there is obviously stuff going on with Ugarte. Now, I think Ugarte is one to watch. Now that Euro's essentially done, I think Ugarte to Manchester United is massively going to progress. I think it's massively going to speed up, because PSG sources have been telling Ben Jacobs and lots of other people that we've had conversations about Ugarte. We've had agreements with Ugarte. Man United keep denying that. And I'm not sure why United are denying that. Maybe because they're focusing on other things and they don't want people to know that we're trying to get Ugarte as well. But Manchester United, according to PSG sources, have had a lot of conversation about bringing in potentially Ugarte, and more as well. So that is another sign there of obviously it being said that PSG sources are adamant that more than one verbal offer has been made by United for Manuel Ugarte, and United sources always insisted they haven't placed a formal offer. So, I mean, we know that Man United in talks with Ugarte. Romano and Ornstein's confirmed it, but it's actually been confirmed that we've made offers and verbal offers for Ugarte. We've just not done anything official, or maybe we're not doing anything official because one, he was in the Copa America, and two, we want to focus on Leny Yoro and Joshua Zirkzee as well. So happy with Yoro. I'm absolutely gassed with Yoro. I still think we need to go for De Ligt as well and bring an experienced centre-back in. I don't think Yoro could be the only centre-back signing. We need experience, but one thing I like about Yoro as well is his injury record. Yoro has a very good injury record. Yoro has a very good ability to stay fit, and I think that's something that we've massively needed at Manchester United, a player that can stay fit, a player with a good injury record, and Leny Yoro will also bring that to Manchester United as well. But let's dive into the next story because there's still loads to talk about. We've got 1,400 people watching and we're still only at 400 likes. Can we hit the 500 like target, people? I'd really appreciate that, guys. It would mean the world to me if we can hit 500 likes. So please do go ahead and hit that like button as we dive into the next news and stories as well. Well, I just grabbed some water quickly because my throat is drying up a little bit. So I'm going to explain what's going on with McTominay and the midfield situation in a bit more detail. So that wasn't a nice noise. So essentially, we're working on the sale of Casemiro. We're working on Ugarte. We've looked at Zubimendi. We've looked at Adam Wharton. We've looked at a few options in midfield. We've got multiple options. It's not nailed on Ugarte, but we've put verbal offers in for Ugarte. He seems to be the one that we want. But it could be linked to the sale of a midfielder. Now, Eriksen is also expected to go. Mejbri is expected to be sold, but there's not any information coming out on them as of yet. The information is all coming out on Casemiro and McTominay, and then, of course, Amrabat, who we'll talk about in a second. It was said that Fulham's first offer for McTominay was around 17 million. They're considering making a second offer. Man United are not actively looking to sell McTominay and will only consider serious offers, and dialogue with PSG, and Man United have opened dialogue with PSG over Manuel Ugarte. So for me, I know McTominay's got 1 year left on his contract, but we should be able to get £30 million for him. I think we can hold off £30 million at worst. 25 plus 5 million is probably what we could get for him. And Fulham are thinking of making another offer, which I assume would be just over 20 million. And I think United will hold on for at least 25 million and potentially get a deal done with Fulham from McTominay to leave the club. I think if he didn't have 1 year left on his contract, I actually think we could get 40 million for him when you look at the prices that players are going, like Kilman and Elliot Anderson and Minter in the market. But I think because he's got 1 year left in his deal, it's a bit more difficult. But I think we can get 30 million from McTominay easily. Does he want to go Fulham? I don't know. He could reject Fulham. He could want to stay another year at United. I wouldn't blame him if he did that. But it said that United are not actively looking to sell McTominay and they're only going to consider serious offers. So Fulham are going to get serious about the offer from McTominay if they want him. Same with the Turkish clubs because there's offers from McTominay, but they're all around 17 million. And Man United have made it clear they want around 30 million from McTominay. But we do have dialogue open with PSG for Ugarte. I think you could get 35, 40 million from McTominay if he didn't have 1 year left on his contract. But I think it could be 25 plus 5 as a realistic one. Just because he's got 1 year left on his contract, he's 27. And I think Man United will extend his contract if he stays. But I think Manchester United are more than open to McTominay leaving. Because while he's a good squad player, he isn't good enough to start week in, week out as well. News seems positive for United, says Steve. Yeah, the news seems really positive. It's crazy, actually, that I'm just reading out the Man United news and it's a positive story after a positive story after a positive story. And it's like, we're doing this, we're doing that. Like, it feels like it's been so long since I could actually go through United news and not say a bad thing and be happy and be like, wow, like this is ongoing. Like, the amount of news and information going on inside Man United at the moment is ridiculously crazy, but it's like an amazing kind of ridiculously crazy as well. Man United's agreement with Lille for Leny Yoro is worth 62 million euros plus 8 million euros, which would take the deal to just under 50 million euros if he is a really good player and all the add-ons are done as well. Man United have submitted another offer for Ugarte and PSG have confirmed that, but Man United sources are trying to deny that as well. So Ugarte to Man United is probably the one I would expect to move next as well. Definitely loving the new structure. Me too. I had my concerns about Ineos keeping the Glazers here, but I think the fact that we got Dan Ashworth in, Omar Barada in, Vivian Wilcox in, this best-in-class people in recruitment, and is exciting. The fact that Dan Ashworth rejected Man United 2 years ago because he didn't want to work under Murta and then told Newcastle he wanted to leave them for United, who are the richest club in the world, it's a suggestion that the Ineos know that this project's different. This is going to be a proper rebuild of United, a proper new project. The fact that Leny Yoro had conversations with United has now chosen us over Real Madrid. The project that Ineos are presenting to people for the future, I think, is really, really exciting as well. And this transfer window is probably one of the most lively transfer windows I've had as a United fan. So what are other news, other stories and other updates coming out? It was said by James Ducker of The Telegraph that Man United's 50% sell-on clause in Greenwood is about profit, not future sale. We'll get 26.6 million for him. And if Marseille sell him for 50 million, we get 23 million net profit. So we'll get about 11.7 million. So, which is a bit annoying because I thought 50% sell-on clause, we get 26 million for Greenwood now. They sell him for 50 million. And all in all, we'll probably get like 50 million for Greenwood in total. Brilliant. That's not the case. We get half of the profit. So Marseille sell them for 50 million. They make 23 million in profit. So Man United would then get just over 11.7 million pounds of that, because that is half of the profit that they make on Greenwood. So if they sold Greenwood for 100 million pounds, they would make a ridiculous profit on that as well. They'd make a 74 million pound profit, and Man United would be looking at 35 million. So if Greenwood went for 100 million one day, we'd get 35 million on top of the initial 26 million, which would take it to about 60 million in total. So that is the breakdown on what's gone on with Greenwood. Any updates on Pulisic, Bacon, Butty? Basically, it was just said that Man United will probably try and offload Pulisic. There's interest. It's expected to move more in August as he's on holiday, relaxing. 5 likes away from 500 likes, people. So please do hit that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Be really appreciated. And feels like only United are doing business in the window. Not had much from the other clubs. Yeah, it's really weird. It's like a roles reverse thing at the moment in the transfer window. It's like we're so used to watching Arsenal, Liverpool, City, and Chelsea move and buy players that we want, and us losing out on players we want. But it's like Man United are moving. Man United are moving to try and buy the players they want. We're not losing them out to rivals. So in other updates, it was said that Madrid sold Rafa Marin because they thought they'd 100% signed Yoro. They're shocked that Yoro's gone to United. And Madrid have now entered the race for a different centre-back, but they don't view any centre-back as having the same potential as Yoro. Real Madrid are annoyed about the situation, but respect his decision. He wasn't going to wait for them as well. And of course, Olympique Marseille and Greenwood. Here we go. The deal is in place in all parties. Romano has confirmed that the deal is officially done between Marseille and Greenwood. It's done. It's agreed for all parties as well. So Greenwood is out. Sancho, Casemiro, Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka are expected to leave. Pulisic could leave. Mejbri could leave. Potentially Maguire could leave. You never know. So at least we're getting some of the outs done. At least we're getting some of the outs out the way, people, as well. Because the more outs we get done, I think the more spending money we'll have for ins as well. Zirkzee interview. I did speak about the Zirkzee interview. Yoro. 520 likes. Big up everybody in the chat. Is the Sancho saga dead? Look like he's staying. Man United are trying to make out they're happy with Sancho staying, and he's more than welcome to stay. But I think it's a negotiation tactic to make sure we get a good bid for Sancho, and I do think they'll ultimately go as well. If I'm going to be totally honest with you. Do you think Real Madrid will go for De Ligt? I don't know. I don't think so. I think they wanted someone young, and I think potentially, yeah. I'd love a Yoro Hato, Leny Yoro partnership at United. That'd be great, but I think putting them together, they're two 17-year-olds, or one's just turned 18, and they both just turned 18. I think they're too young, but I do like Hato of Ajax as a left centre-back, and he's a prospect, but I think our second centre-back signing has got to be a little bit more ready-made now that Leny Yoro is only 18. I think Leny Yoro is great. I think Leny Yoro can be a great partner for Lisandro Martinez, but you've also got to remember he's only 18. So Zirkzee has come out and done his first interview as a Manchester United player as well, which is really, really interesting. And maybe I'll do a video covering that if you guys are interested on that as well. And here we go. What my Ineos team, my HUYS, don't know what HUYS means, but I mean, my eyes, maybe you meant to say, but I mean, my guys, that makes sense. But I just think, to be fair, I was skeptical about Ineos, but these deals that are going on, this business that's being done is really positive. Keep liking the video, people. You only get elite news updates from the one and only Alice Talks Football. Big up. Thank you very much for the chat as well. And that's businessmen talking. I mean, it's just Man United doing business. Man United are making moves. Man United are doing business. I honestly can't believe my eyes. I just, like, Wan-Bissaka could be sold. Lindelof could be sold. Casemiro could be sold soon. Zirkzee's announced, his interviews released. Leny Yoro set to be announced in the next 2 days. That's essentially done. We might make a move for Zubimendi. We might make a move for Ugarte. De Ligt still wants United. I can't get my head around all the news. But listen, people, I just wanted this to be a shorter live show. Big up everybody who tuned into today's live show. If you've missed the Euro news, make sure you scroll back to the beginning. But smash a like, smash a subscribe on the way out. See you next time. Bye.